Welcome to using Google Tools to curate and collect TSTEM artifacts. My name is Nick Keith. I'm a blended learning specialist. You can find me on Twitter at nkeithblend or visit my blog at texasedtech.blogspot.com. Our agenda for this webinar is to first review the TSTEM blueprint, then explore Google Drive folders and Google Forms as a way to upload and store TSTEM artifacts. At the end, I'll show you how to receive credit for this webinar. So let's start with the TSTEM blueprint. If you're already a TSTEM Academy, you're very familiar with the TSTEM blueprint. But if you're not, the TSTEM blueprint is the roadmap for benchmarks, program requirements, and indicators to facilitate STEM Academy growth. So in other words, this is the path that STEM Academies follow on their road to maturity. And in order to demonstrate growth according to this TSTEM blueprint rubric, academies need to provide artifacts demonstrating their level of achievement for each benchmark. So what we're going to look at in this webinar are easy ways to collect artifacts from multiple stakeholders to have them all in one place to make for easy reporting. So let's take a look at some of the benchmarks in the TSTEM blueprint that you'll be collecting artifacts for. The TSTEM blueprint can be found at tstemblueprint.org. And if you scroll down, you'll see a link to the latest TSTEM blueprint. As you scroll through this document, you'll find the blueprint, the rubric, and the glossary. So here is the TSTEM Academy's design blueprint with each of the 7 benchmarks that are part of the roadmap to a maturing TSTEM Academy. You can find more details about each benchmark starting here. And then if you scroll down further to the TSTEM Blueprint Design rubric, you'll start to get an idea of some of the artifacts you'll need to collect for each of these benchmarks. For example, Benchmark 1, which focuses on mission-driven leadership, has a list of example artifacts such as minutes, agenda, title and signatures from meetings, survey data, discussion notes, and the mission and vision. Benchmark 2, which focuses on TSTEM Academy culture and design, has a list of artifacts here such as curriculum, student reflection logs, so on and so forth. So each benchmark has a recommended set of artifacts that you can use to prove your level of maturity as you develop along the TSTEM blueprint. So the difficulty is, how do we get all of these artifacts in one place? Some have to be collected from teachers, some have to be collected from students, from campus administrators, and so it can be a nightmare trying to get them all in one central location. This is where Google Tools can help. Let's start by looking at how to use a shared Google Drive folder to collect your TSTEM artifacts. If you're watching this, I'm going to assume that you have a Google account, but if you don't, you can just go to google.com and click on the blue sign up button in the top right-hand corner. It's quick, it's easy, and it's free, and it provides you with access to Gmail, Google Drive, Google Docs, Sheets, and more. So I've come here to my Google Drive, which you can access 2 different ways. You can click on this waffle here in the top right-hand corner and click on Drive, or you can type in drive.google.com and hit enter in your web browser. So the first thing I want to do to create my artifacts folder is click on the New button in the top left-hand corner. The very first option is to create a new folder in my Google Drive. I'm going to title this folder something like TSTEM Artifacts and click Create. So now I have a folder called TSTEM Artifacts in my Google Drive. But right now, the only person who has access to this folder is me. So that's not very helpful for collecting artifacts from different groups of people. So what I need to do is I need to share this folder with anyone that I want to have access to it to upload files or artifacts. So to do that, I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to select Share. From here, I'm going to enter the names or email addresses of everyone that I want to share this folder with. You can share it with a large group of people, but in this case, I'm just going to enter 1 for the sake of demonstration. And then you can add a note here to everyone who's receiving this folder. Before you send it, on the right-hand side, you should see a pencil. If you drop this down, you have 2 options for sharing this folder. The first is that The people you're sharing with can organize, add, and edit files. So if anyone needs to add artifacts, they definitely need to have the pencil setting. Or there's a view only option. So this would be for people who just need to see what's in the folder and not necessarily add to it or make any changes. In this case, I'm going to assume that everyone you're sharing it with can organize, add, and edit. Once you have the names and email addresses typed in here, click Send. So now what does this look like for the people that you've shared this with? So now I've switched Google accounts, and I'm going to show you where the people that you've shared this folder with need to go in order to access it. So over on the left-hand side, they'll click on Shared with Me, and they should see the folder that you shared with them right here at the top. If not, they may need to click this refresh button and reload the page. Right now that folder is just in their Shared with Me, but we want to move it to their actual Google Drive. To do that, they'll right-click on the folder and select Add to My Drive. Once it says Added to My Drive, they'll click on My Drive on the left-hand side, and then they should be able to scroll down and find that folder. And here it is right here, TSTEM Artifacts. They'll double-click to open the folder, and then when they have artifacts that they need to add here to collect in one place, they can upload those into this folder. To upload a file to this folder, they'll click on New in the top left-hand corner and select File Upload. On their computer, they'll navigate to where they have the file that they want to upload saved, and then click Open. You'll notice this dialog box pops up in the lower right-hand corner, and it says it's uploading one item. And then you'll see that the file is now in this shared folder. To organize this folder even one step further, you can create subfolders inside it. So let's say that you have several different campuses that are uploading to this folder. If you click on New and Folder, you can create a folder for your elementary campus. By clicking New and Folder again, you could create one for your middle school campus, and so on. Then, to move what's been uploaded, just click, drag, and drop. You can click OK if this pops up. And then you'll have all the files for your elementary campus and your middle school campus in one place. You can see at the top that we're in our Google Drive, in the TSTEM Artifacts folder, in the elementary campus folder. So to get back to the TSTEM Artifacts folder, I'll just click there at the top. So now, when it's time to provide artifacts of your progress along the benchmarks, you just have to go to one central folder and find your artifacts all in one place. The second option for uploading artifacts is to use a Google form. In this situation, you may not want to share an entire folder with everyone who needs to upload artifacts. People can move things on accident, things can accidentally get deleted. But if you create a Google form with an option for a file upload, all you have to do is share the form with that person. They choose which files to upload, and they cannot access the other artifacts that are in the Google Drive folder. So let me show you how to create that Google form. So I'm in my Google Drive. I've created a folder called TSTEM File Upload Form. In this folder, I'm going to create a new Google form. A Google form is just an easy way to collect information from people, like surveys and questionnaires. So to do that, I'm going to click on New. I'm going to go to More, and I'm going to select Google Forms. I'm going to give my form a title by clicking Untitled Form. And now if I click here where it says Untitled Form at the top, that will update automatically. I only need a few pieces of information when people are uploading artifacts. The first is the name of the person who uploaded it. So I'll type name here, and you'll notice it automatically changes to short answer. And I may also want the campus that they're uploading this file for. So I'll type campus. I could put in a list of my campuses here. and just press enter after each one so they can choose those when they upload the file. I'm going to click required here at the bottom, which means that they have to answer that question before they can submit. I'm going to click the plus sign here one more time to add a question. And this time, I'm going to make this my file upload. So I'm going to type upload artifact here. And on the right-hand side, I'm going to click file upload. It's going to ask you to confirm that you want to let people who are responding upload files to your drive, which you do, so click continue. And then you have a few options. The first says allow only specific file types. We're going to leave that turned off because artifacts may be a lot of different things. You can choose the number of files you want them to be able to upload. So if you know it will be a situation where people need to upload multiple files at a time, you can drop this down and change it to 1, 5, or 10. Then you can adjust the maximum file size here from 10 megs all the way up to 10 gigabytes. You may want to set it at something like 100 megabytes. That should be enough to make sure that people can upload what they need, but not so much that it overwhelms your drive. Then I'm going to click on required here at the bottom, which means that they have to answer this question. So now I've created my simple form. In order to share this with people, I'm going to click on send in the top right, and I can either email it to them here by typing in their email address, or if I wanted to post a link to it somewhere, like maybe on my school or district website so that it can be accessed by anyone who needs it, I'm going to click on this link icon at the top, and I'm going to click copy. So now I've copied this link, and wherever I need to put it, I can just paste it there. So let me switch to a different account so you can see what this file upload is going to look like. So now I've changed accounts, and I'm going to go to the link that I just copied. Whether this was emailed to me or I clicked on it from a website, it's all going to work the same way. So I've come to the tstem artifact upload form. It's going to confirm that the person uploading belongs to this Google account. When you do a file upload, the person has to have a Google account in order to upload files. I'm going to put in my name. I'm going to put in my campus. And then I'm going to click on Add File. So from here, people responding to your form can either upload from their computer, or if they click on My Drive, they can add files from their Google Drive. I'm going to select a file from my computer. And in this case, I can select multiple files just by holding down the Shift key and selecting Open. This is everything that will be uploaded, and I'll click Upload in the bottom left. The respondent just verifies that these are the ones they want to upload, and then they click Submit. Now let me switch back to the account where I created this form. This is the Google account where I originally created the form. I'm going to close the form by clicking the X in the tab at the top, and I'm going to go back to my Google Drive. Here's the form that I created, and now a new folder has been created with the uploads to my artifact upload question. So I'm going to double click this folder, and then there's going to be a new folder in there with the file responses, and these are the 3 files that were just uploaded, and you'll see the respondent's username at the end of each file. So now users can upload files to your Google form, but they never have to have access to the actual folder where those are stored. So now let's talk about how you receive credit for this webinar. I'm assuming that you're watching this on the Educate Texas College and Career Readiness webinar site, but if not, the link to get here is tinyurl.com/edtxwebinars. If you'll scroll all the way down to the bottom, past the other 3 webinars on the site, you'll see that the 4th one will be posted here, and there will be a link underneath it, just like the one above it. Once you click on that link, it's going to take you to the form to fill out to receive credit for this webinar. You'll need to enter your name and your email address, and then answer a few short questions. The final question asks you to copy and paste the link to your product here. So, for your product, you can either create a Google Drive folder, or you can create a Google form with a file upload option. Let me show you where to get the links for each of those. If you've chosen to create a Google Drive folder, go to your Google Drive and right-click on the folder you created and select Get Shareable Link. As soon as you do that, it copies a link to this folder to your clipboard. So you've already copied the link. Then you'll need to go back to the Google form for this webinar, click here where it says your answer, and then right-click and paste the link. When you submit that, I'll be able to click on the link and see that you've created a Google Drive folder. If you chose to create a form for file upload, you'll go to your form that you've created, click on Send in the top right, click on the link button that we looked at earlier, then select Copy to copy the link to your form. Come back to the form for this webinar, right-click, and paste the link to your form. After you've answered the questions and pasted your link, just click the Submit button down here at the bottom. After I review your answers and your product, you'll receive an email giving you credit for attending this webinar. So this has been using Google Tools to curate and collect T-STEM artifacts. Again, my name is Nick Keith. I'm a blended learning specialist. You can get in touch with me at nkeithblend on Twitter, or visit my blog at texasedtech.blogspot.com.